This is in Moscow. Oh my God. Look at, wow. Jesus. Look at all that. Oh my God. They're just bombing the shit out of them. I mean, this is my opinion. I think it's really sad that innocent Russians are going to get killed or have their lives disrupted or ruined by these attacks. But as I said before, I mean, Ukraine was attacked by Russia. They were invaded by Russia. Russia is the aggressor. If anybody else is the aggressor, it is the NATO, collaborative powers and not necessarily Ukraine. So even if you want to blame it on like US imperialism, the one thing you really, I don't think can blame it on is fucking Russia, is Ukraine. So NATO forced Russia. NATO made Russia invade Kiev. Right. Yeah, I'm sure that's really what's helping them. So Russia's attacking Kiev for 4 years straight. They are. They've been attacking Kiev for 4 years. And so really, I mean, I think it's sad to see this happen to, a lot of the Russians that are there, but that's it. NATO 100% forced Russia? No, Russia did not need to invade and bomb and kill people in Kiev. I can guarantee you that Russia would probably be in a better spot right now if they didn't invade Ukraine. If they, it's not even stopping NATO really. Like, it's just making everything worse. It's making Russia look bad. It's killing thousands of their people. It's wasting billions of dollars. Like, they've lost on every front. They've lost internationally. They've lost millions, I don't know about millions, but like billions of their own money. They've had multiple sanctions. They've lost two massive key allies with Venezuela and Iran. On top of that, they're not really even winning in Ukraine. I think that Russia, everybody I think expected Russia to just roll Ukraine over. Like, it was just going to be nothing. And when Russia didn't do that, I feel like there was people were like, damn, wait, really? Like, maybe you guys aren't really what you said you were, right? Like, that was it. And Syria, oh yeah, I forgot all about Syria. Yeah, Assad fell in Syria. This was, I think, a year and a half ago, somewhere around there. And so, yeah, absolutely. I forgot all about that. So you should do more on Ukraine updates once a week. Well, I only have so much time, but I maybe I should. I mean, like, I'm a, I've said before, I'm a very big supporter of Ukraine. I don't hate Russia. I'm actually, I think that Russians, religiously at least, like, we have things in common with Russians. Like, Russian Orthodoxy is close to, I think, Roman Catholicism. But like, at the same time, they do have some like, Putin's an asshole. Putin's a jackass. He's a fucking dickhead. And like, I don't know why he's doing this. And I think that the leadership in Russia are assholes. And I don't know why they're doing this at all. So Russia's GDP is less than Texas. Well, I don't know. Ukraine isn't our problem. Ukraine isn't our problem. Russia is our problem. And if we can weaken Russia, so like, think about it like this, right? So you can't think one-dimensionally. You have to think on multiple different vectors. So us helping Ukraine, and not just us, but the EU as well, also helping them, and like other countries also, like Israel helping them, for example. This happening has made Ukraine more resilient, which has caused Russia to send more resources over to Ukraine, which has meant that those resources were not sent to bolster Iran. They were not sent to bolster Venezuela, and they're not going to be sent to bolster Cuba. So really, I think that you're right, that Ukraine isn't our problem, but Ukraine is our advantage. It is our advantage on a multi-step level. Does that make sense to you? That's how I'm looking at it, right? No, I'm not saying that there's no other way to look at it. And I see what your point of view is, but I think that, like, in a longer, bigger picture perspective, I'm a big fan of that. I do. And so anyway, what is this here? Same as Israel? In some cases, yes. Anyway, let's keep watching the video. We're getting distracted. So Moscow is getting bombed. Holy shit, look at this. Oh my god. See Elon's tweet? I did not. God damn. You know, the administration can think that far ahead? Well, I don't know about they can. I'm just telling you, that's what I think, right? I mean, I don't know what they think. So a Ukrainian kamikaze drone was intercepted by Russian anti-air. I love how kamikaze has just become like Kleenex or Band-Aid. Like kamikaze, as far as I know, this is like a unique, specific word to Japanese language, right? And like now everybody just knows it after Pearl Harbor. Like it's just like it's become a you know, like just a normalized word, right? For people only. Yeah, it's very funny for me to see that. Damn. You see this? Was that a sound delay? Yeah, I guess it must have been, right? Holy shit, man. Heading towards the oil refinery is insane. Look at that. Do you think Russia will bomb the factories in NATO countries for creating the drones for Ukraine? Will Russia do that? No, they won't. They already have so little political capital, and they also still rely on. I don't know where their energy stands right now. Like the last time I heard is that Russia was still selling energy at a large scale to Europe, but I'm not sure really if that's changed. And I'm also not sure if Russia is going to be able to maintain the level of the economy they had with Iran either, because of the potential Iran deal. I don't know what that's going to be. So I'm not up to date with that, so I can't really tell you whether that's probably going to happen. But I find it to be very unlikely that Russia's going to bomb them. I think it's not going to happen. Pearl Harbor actually had no intentional kamikaze attacks. It was later in the war they started them. Really, my understanding... Look, I mean, it's... You almost got me off topic, okay? Look, you have to understand that, like, I grew up, like, all my history teachers were, like, football coaches, and all they wanted to do was teach us about how their father beat the Nazis. So, like, I know a lot about World War II, and also my dad grew up that way. So, yeah, but let's not get into that. I'm not going to go through, and let's not argue too much, okay? Because we're very, very busy today. So, let me scroll down and find these other ones. We fucked around and found out. I guess so. So this is Ukraine as well. And I mean, this looks like an oil refinery, right? There it goes. It's burning. Damn it. The whole plant is on fire. The whole fucking thing. Wow. Wow. Only the missiles fucking still hitting somewhere? On the way in? Fucking, yeah. We fucked around and... No way! No way you even... A Russian went and said we fucked around and found out. Oh my god. Absolute fucking cinema. Wow. You did. You did. That's what happened. What a fucking frame. Your oil refinery is up in smoke, and we fucked around and found out. You did. Yeah, and he's cooked if Putin sees this. Maybe, right? I mean, I feel bad for any... Like, I almost felt bad watching Nick Shirley's video about Cuba, because I didn't want to draw more attention and hopefully, or unintentionally, excuse me, like, get those people the Eye of Sauron over there, You actually said that? Yeah, I know we got plenty of people that are rushing to watch. The Hana holes are fucking cunning with the fucking... Hana holes is this... Hana holes, I'm assuming, is Ukraine... Wait, that's not like a racial slur, is it? Did I just say a racial slur or like a Russian racial slur? It's a slur? Oh, Jesus Christ, I'm so sorry. I didn't know that. It's the first time I've ever heard it. I'm so sorry, I didn't mean it, okay? It's like whenever you get like one of these Japanese girls to read the N-word. Like, they didn't know. They didn't know, okay? I didn't know. And so, all right. And then, okay, so the Ukrainians with the help of the Yankees, which, I wonder who that is, right? That's going to be us. Okay. Just a complete fucking conflagration. Oh, that's a big word. Can't see it on video. There's fire here. Yeah, I can see the fire. Oh, actually, you guys can't. Let me move this up. Yeah, see, it's right there where my webcam was. Here he is. Fuck. Yeah. You think the Ukrainians going to force Russia to sign a peace deal with these attacks? I think that... I really don't know what's going to happen, because I think that there is... I think that right now, nobody really knows what's happening with Iran. Nobody knows if the Iran deal is going to stand. They don't know if Iran's going to become more malleable by the United States, if Iran will effectively have the same type of concessions that Venezuela did in order to remove these sanctions, like, for example, no trading with Russia and China as much. And so, like, we don't really know yet, and no one knows. Yeah, I don't think the peace deal is going to hold, but I could be wrong. I don't really know. So my point is that I don't think you can really predict I think almost everybody's predictions of the Ukraine war so far have been wrong. My best guess is that Putin feels like he can't pull out. Because if he pulls out, that means that he lost, and I think that he effectively runs a dictatorship. And so I can't see a world where Putin leaves. No, really. I mean, I'm being honest. I can't see a world where Putin leaves Ukraine without land concessions. I don't see that happening. I think Putin would rather sacrifice millions of his own people than project that Russia lost the conquest of gaining Greater Russia and, like, reclaiming USSR lands. Like, that's my best guess, but I'm really not an expert in this. I don't really know what I'm talking about. I'm just kind of giving you, like, okay, this is kind of what I'm thinking, right? So that's it. They would kill him. I think that it's possible. It definitely is. Because, like, he's a, Putin is, like, he has really great, in a way, like, he has really great PR, especially he used to, right? I mean, this guy, he would go in and apparently Russians told me, like, I talked to some Russians about this, and, like, they said that, like, a lot of this is kind of a performance, but, like, to an international audience, they don't really know that, like, including myself, I didn't know that, where, like, Putin goes in and, like, sets the, the business owners or the factory owners straight. Remember, like, where he says, like, oh, I didn't see you sign this, here, sign it right now in front of me, give me back my pen, that whole clip, right? And, like, this totally farms people internationally, and he does look like a fucking boss doing this, right? Absolutely does. I wish Trump would act that way. But anyway, so Soviet style, yes, definitely. So, like, you have that. Then there's, like, all the photos of him, like, riding a horse with his shirt off, doing jujitsu. He was, like, a KGB agent, etc., right? So, like, I mean, he had a lot of, like, I mean, he was a cool guy in a way, right? He kind of was. He's a cool guy. And so, like, I do think that, like, PR like that matters. And the image, because, like, if you look at, for example, Lenin or Stalin, I feel like Lenin and Stalin are two other great examples of people that had just such a strong image. They were such strong personalities, such strong figures that, again, that kind of ties people together. And, the moment that you lose your grip on that and you're no longer projecting that power, I think that, it's like, people just turn on you really fast. So that's what I think. And Lenin was a manlet, by the way. Yeah, he's a pretty short guy. It's my understanding. I think Stalin was about average. Maybe he was like 6 foot or something like that. Yeah. I don't know. Pathetic propaganda power mongering? Well, yeah, I'm just telling you that it works, though, right? This is fuck. We just fucked up. Man, that is not going to... But yeah, don't let Putin see that. Holy shit. Look, I didn't know we had this many videos. Look at some of these. Wow. At Goijitsu. Goijitsu. I really like that one. Goijitsu. I don't know what it means yet, but I'm gonna have to think that one out. I am. No, it's good. It's a list? Yeah. Oh my god. I mean, for such a targeted attack, I mean, this must have been against a specific person, right?
Очень низко.
Guess you won't be reading the document today? I am. I figured, so I'm going to read the document. I just want to let everybody know, just, in case somebody comes in and asks. I want to give people like an hour and a half or so to pile in. That way, people aren't like, oh, I missed it or something like that. And then we're going to start reading it. So I'm going to try to abbreviate a lot of the normal stuff that I talk about, and then we're going to move into that topic, right? And so that's currently what the idea is. Because I know obviously people are like, oh, okay, today's the day, right? And like it'll make my stream probably 8 hours today, right? But like, who cares? What the wait, what the fuck? That's like Looney Tunes.
Ой, бля. Ой.
The lid, yeah. Look at the lid, watch. What the hell? Look at that. Did they blow up a UFO? I wonder what that is. Oh, that's so sad. Wow. Holy shit. God. Wait, that's... Oh my god. Just got here, what happened? Ukraine is droning and bombing Moscow. Like, not, you know, some other random bumfuck city near the Ukrainian border right next to it. I guess Moscow's kind of close, like, I mean, not super close. But, like, yeah, that's what's happening. Kind of a big deal. It's a really big deal. Holy shit, they're attacking the oil refineries in particular? Well, then, yeah, they're trying to disrupt their economy, then. That is fucking crazy. Dude, this is some Looney Tunes shit. Oh my god. Wow. You guys see that? Russian air defense is a joke? I mean, they should... You know, we've got, I mean, I guess, so they already had the Iron Curtain, but then now Israel has the Iron Dome, so they kind of stole that from Russia. And we're going to have the Golden Dome. What do they have, like, I mean, the Red Dome sounds like, that's like China, right? So they've got to have, like, a new, like, what's, I don't even know what they can call it. Yeah, the Wooden Dome. The Plywood Dome. Oh no. Dimsdale Dimmadome? Yeah, I guess so. Oh my god. The Bear Dome, the Porous Dome. Oh man. Okay, here's another one right here. This is the refinery right here. Moscow, the capital of Russia. And I don't think people understand the stupidity of striking deep into Moscow, how this is. The odds for World War III just raised significantly. I think that this doesn't really raise the odds as much as this person is indicating. I think that Putin is already stretched really thin, and I think that a full military commitment isn't something that he's willing to do. As I've said, I think that really, maybe I'm the only one that feels this way, but it's really been phenomenal and surprising to me to see how resilient the Ukrainian people have been, you know? It's fucking insane. Let me see if I can pull some of these other ones. Yeah, Russia has a lot of fucking bombs, bro. They do have a lot of bombs, but, you know, Ukraine has a lot of interceptors because they're also being reinforced by the EU and also by America and Israel, too. Israel's helping them as well. So really, you have, like, Ukraine is, like, they're getting a lot of help from other countries. They don't? I mean, I don't know. It seems like they do. But, again, I don't want to argue about it. Our old stuff? Yeah, well, I mean, that's their old stuff. I mean, I'll tell you the point where I thought that things looked really bad for Russia. So there was a point where Russia had a bunch of their airplanes just sitting out on, like, an airfield, and Ukraine sent drones into Russia in, like, these specials. So basically what they did, I don't want to get too far off topic, but, like, here's pretty much what they did, is, like, here's, like, the supply box, right? And so, like, this is behind, like, a truck. It's like a supply thing. Like, this is the, you know, this is the truck, right? And so what they did is they had, like, you know, inside of this is like a secret compartment. And then there were a bunch of drones that flew out of here. And then they blew up, like, all of the, like, it was like their version of the Pagers attack that Israel did, right? And I felt like when that happened, Operation Spiderweb, yeah, I think that's what they called it. I could be wrong. But so anyway, they did this, the Trojan trucks, exactly. So they did this and they destroyed, you know, Russia's multi-million-dollar planes just like nothing, right? I mean, there was no defenses or anything. And I remember whenever that happened, I realized like actually Ukraine could come out ahead of this, could come out its ahead. Until I saw that, I was like much more like pessimistic about that happening. But like when I saw that, I was like, what the fuck, man? That was crazy. That'd be interesting. Yeah. World War III is happening. Germany's already preparing for 2029. Ukraine pretty much has nothing to lose at this point. Germany is. I think Germany's World War III is going to happen inside of Germany. I mean, they have their own problems. They have a lot of their own problems. Ukraine can't come ahead. It only lost half its population since independence. Well, we'll see what happens, right? And what is this here? Can I find it? So, by the way, I'll pull somebody up. This is a complainer. Doesn't know anything about conflict. Sure is full of opinions. So why would I don't want to respond to somebody who just keeps calling me stupid. You could present an argument or something like that. Like you could easily present an argument, but like instead of this, you just keep calling me stupid and wrong. I'm not interested in hearing somebody calling me stupid and wrong. I have no problem with you presenting a different perspective, but I have no interest in just being insulted regularly. I don't want to deal with that. Crybaby Kowinski? Crybaby Kyle Kowinski. Is that Crybaby with a K? Shares you with a video, says you were the wrongest person in history for your 2% take. Yeah, I mean, Kyle's an idiot. It doesn't really matter. I mean, it's pretty obvious that, like, it's not billionaires that are out inside a 7-Eleven robbing you. Damn! Holy shit! They popped him to fuck off. God damn. And there's the little drone. I mean, like, here's the problem, though. I don't see any universe where this interceptor missile... is not a 5x or at least a 10x, if not more, than the drone. Right? I mean, like, it's costing them a lot of money to do that. That shit was so fast. Yeah, it was pretty fast. I mean, sure. But, true? Yeah, 100x easy. Exactly, right? And so you're going to kind of bleed these people out by making them do that. I mean, this was the concern that, you know, people had in the Iran war with Israel. And that's why they were so aggressive with attacking their missile launchers. Moscow burning, operator, what's going on? Holy fucking shit, man. This is insane. So that's the one that we already saw. I'm trying to see if there's any new versions of this. And then, oh, I guess Zelensky made even a post about this explaining it. So what did he say exactly here?
Foreign minister also have to prepare the, you know, the presidency. Well.
Let me see. Can I find what he said about it? And
two urgent issues with Mark, and first is the number of unmanned.
This is just him talking about, like, basic, just random stuff. It's not super important. Last night, our long-range sanctions once again reached the Moscow region for the second time this week. Moscow oil refinery was hit. Targets were also struck in the Rostov region and the temporarily occupied territories of Ukraine. This is a fully justified response to the Russian attacks on our cities and communities, and another important result of our warriors' work against facilities that sustain Russia's war machine. I thank our defense and security forces of Ukraine for their coordinated efforts, the security service of Ukraine, the unmanned systems forces, the special operations force, defense intelligence, and missile brigade. In the recent days, all of our partners have noted that the precision and effectiveness of our mid-range missiles strikes. I don't know why I'm not reading correctly. Today, what is this here? I think it's because he doesn't speak English, and so it's like it doesn't read well to me. But like anyway, effectiveness of our mid-range strikes and long-range sanctions. It's time the war ended, and Russia must take the necessary steps in diplomacy. So there it is. This is a new one too. Dyslexia? Well, I can usually assume what people are going to say, and then, like, the dyslexia is, like, not really as visible. But reading things that are ESL or reading things that are translated really fucks me up because it doesn't read the way that, like, a, you know, normal English reads. He put a comment underneath. Yeah, this is some of the other ones. The winning side does not seek diplomacy. Let's be real. We've had diplomatic conclusions to almost every single war. Even World War I ended with diplomacy. World War II ended with some level of diplomacy. How much money did we give? Like after we fought Mexico, we gave Mexico money. We get, yeah, I mean, that's not even true, including World War II. Yeah, I saw a post by Palmer Luckey talking about that, where, like, they said, oh, well, we didn't have diplomacy with the Japanese, but it's, like, very clearly there was agreements and you know, diplomacy that was done. That's why the emperor wasn't, like, executed or something like that. My understanding is I think he went into exile, right? And, like, this is very clearly to preserve a degree of, like, you know, national, you know, like, I don't know, honor, right? That's why the Emperor wasn't bombed? Yeah, exactly. Like, we could have just blown up the Emperor, right? We could have done that. We didn't do that. So, I think that it's just not true. I see what you're saying, though. I understand what your point is. I don't think that's accurate, though. And, anyway, let me see if there's any more of this that's worth looking at. Somebody said he had a follow-up post about this. Let me go ahead and double-check. And so, oh, this is the same... Yeah, this is the same one. Man... Man, how about that? How about that? That's crazy. Holding all of the cards. The timing is kind of interesting with the oil flowing toll-free from the Strait. Ukraine targets Russian oil, etc. Well, I don't know exactly. I mean, maybe it's because, you know, Iran... I guess, I mean, you could make a 4D argument, but I don't really... I don't know enough about that to, like, have any sort of, like, real, like, yeah, that's what's happening, right? I really don't know.